Tampa, representing through and through, my guy. Gabe, what's going on, brother? How are you?
How you doing, Jay?
Oh, man, doing well, buddy. Listen, we've been following you ever since the plant days. And then now being able to see, it's just like every single time I check on you, bro, you're 3 for 5 here, you're 2 for 5 here, you're hitting dingers here, you're driving in runs. I mean, what a crazy journey that you have been on. Let's go back to the days here in the Tampa Bay area. And listen, you played for one of the best programs here in the Bay over with Coach Braun and Plant. But the first 2 years, I mean, it was a tough journey for you, but you stayed with it. What was that like, the beginning of your high school career? How did you stay with it and prove, like, hey, even though I didn't make the team the first couple of seasons, I'm not going to be denied?
I mean, it sucked for sure, but it was more out of there's no way that I can't do it. Like the fact that I wanted to play, the fact that I wanted to, not only because I liked baseball, but I had, I could tell there's a lot of people that didn't think I could do it, and that was enough for me to, I mean, want to get better, and I, I was really just bitter. I was
Yeah.
angry. I was kind of a bitter, angry kid the first 2 years, just because I knew that I could do it, but I didn't have the talent or the skill or whatever I needed at the time to be the player that I wanted to be. And I still kind of play like that because obviously you're never really at where you want to be. Um, but back then it was really like a fire that I just couldn't really put out. So whatever inch I could get, it was it was motivation for me that I was on the right track. Even the slightest bit of improvement when I did get to even dress out one time, it was something that I was just super happy to even the slightest bit of someone saying, "Dude, you've gotten so much better," or "Oh, like, dude,
Right.
you've gotten so much bigger," or whatever
Mhm.
it was. It was just a little bit more and more and more encouraging to up until where I am at right now.
So when you finally got that chance and you started playing and getting those opportunities, how did you keep that chip on your shoulder then? Right, it was just continuously. Did you keep that on you? Did you keep that like, all right, well, there's still people that probably doubt me out here, and that's what kind of motivated you, whether it's in the gym or in the cages?
Yeah, no, even to this day, I'll go look for stuff. I mean,
I
I'll go talk smack
love it.
to whoever. I mean, Justin Crawford, one of the fastest guys in baseball.
Mhm.
I'll go tell him, and I'm gonna steal more bags than him, and then that'll lead to like him saying, "Nah, man, you're slow," blah blah blah, and that's enough for me to even take that part and say, "Oh, he thinks that I'm slow. All right, I'm actually gonna go steal more bags than him." Obviously, the odds are stacked against me on that one. The kid freaking flies. He doesn't run. But I mean, that's how I'd rather play with a chip on my shoulder than to be, you know, at the top of my game or at the top of my game for where I'm at right now, thinking that I don't need to get better.
Mhm.
It's not really going to help me improve. So, um, if being a little dissatisfied is going to seem like I'm a little unhappy at the time, I'd rather play like that than to be, on the other half.
Right, no doubt. At what point did you know that playing pro ball was a possibility? Because the journey was, obviously, as a kid when you're growing up, everybody wants to be a big leaguer, everybody wants to play minors, you want to, be in spring training, you want to do all these different things. Was there a certain point along the way that you knew, like, hey man, like everything that I'm putting into this is going to give me an opportunity to really to be able to play pro ball? Was there something that clicked? Was there a moment? Was there a game? Anything like that?
Um, I mean, there were. So this is weird because even when I got cut from from plant,
Mhm.
I've always had the belief, and I would tell myself that I can be the player I want. I could play in the big leagues. I have what it takes to be whatever it is.
Right.
But obviously, when the things look very bleak at the time that you're saying it to yourself, and you're
Mhm.
trying to, you know, convince yourself that you are what you're saying you are before other people start believing that. It was more so of like a uh, encouragement to actually start doing the things that I was saying back in 2017.
Right.
And then now people telling me that I am super talented and you have a good career ahead of you. And it's just like, it's kind of mind blowing to me when I first started hearing stuff like that. I'm like, oh shoot, like the stuff I was saying to myself is actually, coming true. This is awesome.
You spoke it into existence, man.
Sorta, yeah.
Yeah. Who was there with you during those tough times, man? Who do you credit? Because it's easy. Everybody wants to, oh yeah, I remember that guy when. But who was there when you were at some of your darkest times? Who was there riding with you, supporting you, even when things weren't going as well?
The Lord our God Jesus Christ, man. Like without God in my life, I definitely wouldn't be able to do all the stuff that I've done. I definitely wouldn't have. I don't know. Who knows where I'd be if I didn't have Jesus in my life. I mean, my parents have always been there for me, even though they're still over in Scotland.
Mhm.
I mean, as far as like support wise, my family was always there for me, but I wasn't really the type to talk about what I was going through. So,
Right.
um, you know, they could only do so much. Where if I want to do something that I haven't been able to do, I have to go out and do it in order to actually get the help that I want.
Yeah, you got to
Um,
be able to take the bull by the horns yourself, and to be
exactly.
able to make this life as big as you wanted it to be. You got drafted the first time. Was there any thought process of like, hey, I'm gonna go? This is, or were you just like, nah, this is, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna bet on myself again to try to get drafted higher, and eventually did.
I had asked for my number was like 800,000,
Hmm.
and I remember everybody telling me like, "Dude, no JUCO player gets paid. Like, don't settle for whatever they're giving you." And 18, I think it was like 19th round. You should take it. And then I was like, if my number was 800, but I go and take something that's way below that, what type of not only what type of player am I, what type of man am I to go back on my word? Now I
Right.
gotta bite the bullet, and if I'm bold enough to say that I'm worth 800 at wherever, if my number was 800, why not go and take the chance at FAU? And also, I didn't want to go to FAU. I was set on playing pro ball from playing. I
Yeah.
wanted to go play play. I didn't want to go to school. I don't, you know. I went to junior college, not because it was like, oh, I can go to any D1 because I
Right.
only had one offer going to St. Pete, but it was
Hmm.
like, oh, I get to be drafted. Even after my first year, I can go get drafted. But then I have to, uh, kind of put my ego in check and say, well, things aren't the way I wanted them. Things didn't go the way I wanted them to go.
Right.
I mean, I had done everything I thought I needed to do in order to get drafted where I wanted, and that was really, I was really punched in the gut because I was so invested in that draft, thinking that I had done everything I needed, and
Where did you think you were
now
going?
say what?
Where did you think you were going in that draft?
Oh, dude, I mean, I asked a certain scout. I was like, "What?" This is before the year even started. I said, "What do I need to do in order to be a top 3 round pick?"
Right.
And he's like, "Go be the best player in the state. Go win that award. Go be the best player in Florida." And I tweeted out on Twitter before season started. I was like, "I'm gonna be the national junior college player
Yeah.
of the year." And I mean, I didn't get that, but I got player of the year for Florida, and I hit 400 and all this stuff. And me thinking I'm on top of the world, thinking I did everything by my own accord.
Hmm.
And looking back on it now, I'm glad I didn't get that. Regardless of what I did, that was the year before I gave my life to Christ. So when I put God first, everything that I had wanted previously was given to me.
Everything got prioritized for you, didn't it? It's pretty
Yeah.
wild, man. Are you off Twitter now? Because I try to find you. I remember following you on Twitter. Are you gone? Are you off?
I think I changed my handle, but it's like Gabe Rincones, but I delete it every now and every now and then I check it, but
Yeah,
Twitter is a crazy place.
it is, man. Going down that
I
rabbit hole. Because I
prefer
remember I
being
followed
off
you
of
since
it.
high school, I think. All right, so you get drafted by the Phillies, man. You get where you want to be. Big third round pick there. What's that been like being in that system? And talk to me about spring training this year and just being around some of those big players. Oh, I think we froze. What? Hold on, buddy.
You said what?
Sorry. Talk to
Hello?
me about spring training this year, and just being around some of those, big players, and being so close, man. You're crushing it right now at AAA. Oh, hold on. Service issues here. Cancel. You there? Good.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. Okay, now we're good. Sorry. All right. Yeah, just asking you about getting drafted by the Phillies and what that whole situation was like. And obviously it's great because you have spring training in Clearwater, and not too far from home. But what was that like this year? Being around some of the guys getting ready for the regular season.
Dude, I mean, it was seeing some of those guys in person after seeing them on TV for so long, or being in the same lineup as them, or being in the same like BP times on the field and watching them hit, and then having them watch you hit on the field, or just having interactions with them. It's like, I mean, it's just super dope because you, if I would have told you 6 years ago that I would be doing that stuff, I mean, even though regardless of what I said back then, I would be like, all right, like I'm here. I don't know what. Maybe it does happen. Doubt it happens. Whatever. But then to actually be doing that, it's like, hey, dude, like you're right there. Like you're with them. Like go learn from them and see what you can get, so that you can one day be seen by others like you're seeing them right now. So definitely is a surreal experience.
Who were some of the guys that were giving you advice?
Schwarber, Kevin Long, the hitting coach, and him. They helped me with my routine that I'm still doing, and I'm trying to, roll that out the whole year. Um, and I mean, I would ask Bohm questions, Castellanos questions. Um, I was in the lineup against the Jays at their place, and it was like almost every single like big guy on there. It was Turner's in the lineup, Stott, like
Mm-hmm.
Harper, Bohm, uh, Schwarber, and I'm over there hitting 9 hole, and I'm just like, heck yeah! Like, and then I go and I hit a homer, and I'm like, this is sick. Um,
That's great. What was that like to be able to circle the bases? You touch home plate, and then you see those guys welcoming it and celebrating with you. That had to be a surreal moment.
I'm like, damn straight, hey, let's go. That's what I'm talking about, bro. This is what I envision. This is what I daydream about. Like this is stuff that I where I'm zoning out, and like in school where I'm zoning out and I'm thinking about stuff like scenario like that. Um, I mean, it's like a fever dream. It's like a freaking daydream that you're making up in your head. So, and then you realize that you can actually make that an everyday thing. So now you just gotta be disciplined and go through the ups and downs so that you can make that a reality every day.
Yeah, I guess that's the big thing is like now that you're knowing that you're so close to being able to be there in the big leagues, how do you not like try to reach too far or look too far ahead? How do you stay grounded, right? Knowing that like everything will take care of itself as long as I continue to kind of put my best foot forward and just focus on the daily process.
Well, that's kind of the whole thing with baseball. It's you have a great day and you go to reach for more and then you get your ass kicked, So it's the same concept. It's like don't do too much. You do the little things, and big things will happen. And that's I say that now, but that's something that when you're out in the on the diamond, you kind of forget, and then you have to remind yourself of doing that again. Try not to spin out, whether it be your O for whatever or your 4 for 4, and you have your fifth AB. Did you clock out in your fourth hit, or are you going up there looking to go 5 for 5? So that's constant. It's a battle. It's a constant battle of wanting and like having that water be lukewarm and not too hot or too cold.
I think that's the thing that I've seen across all of professional athletes and coaches. It's the even keel, right? It's you never want to get too high, you never want to get too low. Who can kind of be that calm when the storm is raining down? And I just, I think the more and more we talk about it, it just seems like being grounded in your faith really has helped you, not just as a baseball player, but as a man to kind of navigate through the waters of life. Is that fair to say?
100%. And Christ is the ultimate mediator of your everyday even keel. Like he's the one that can make the water just right. But if you're not in His Word every day, if you're not in His Word every day, you're only as good as what you're capable of doing. And to be honest, I ain't worth a crap without God. Like He's
Mhm.
the one that puts me on the right path. He's the one that, takes care of my troubles. And I could say, yeah, I did that, I did this. I didn't do nothing. I'm just here, and I'm being a vessel for His glory, or being a vessel for His word is way bigger than what I could do on my own. And I mean, if I would give advice to anybody, if I have a really good game, I gotta open up my Bible. If I have a really bad game, I gotta open up my Bible, because that's what keeps you grounded. And there's nothing worse in baseball or in life when you're just not grounded. You're susceptible to getting blindsided and getting put on your butt. And He keeps you grounded so that doesn't happen.
No doubt about it. All right, before I let you go, we got to say one nice thing about JD Urso because he's the one that connected us. And the Urso family. I coached JD when he was like 7 or 8 years old, man. Known the Urso family for damn near 20 years. What is it like to be friends with him and being around the Urso clan?
They're, I mean, they're top tier people. They're JD is my brother. Like, I haven't asked him yet, but he'll probably find out soon. He's gonna be one of my best men at my
Nice.
wedding. And I wouldn't, I wouldn't trade anything for our friendship and friendship with his family as well. Like I said, I mean, and if anybody that knows the Ursos knows that they're amazing people.
Salt of the earth people, just like you, my friend Gabe. You and your story, it is so inspirational to everybody here in the Tampa Bay area. We've been following you. I remember the plant days, and I remember days when you just, it was like, well, yeah, Rincones did this. He had 3 hits, he had 4 hits, I'm like, Jesus, this kid just rolls out of bed and he can freaking hit. But Gabe, so proud of you, man. And you just keep doing your thing. You're so grounded. I love to see what you're doing as a baseball player, but I love even more to see how grounded you are and how level headed you are as a man. And yeah, man, just keep doing your thing. Thank you so much for your time today. Best of luck today and the rest of the week and the rest of the season. And we'll see you in the bigs before we know it, my friend. Thank you. Talk soon.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate you.
All right, buddy. Good stuff.